So I went from the care system into the YY system. I'd done them full 15 months, 7 of them in the segregation unit, being battered by men, being thrown in strip cells, being put on CC. And back in the day, when it was CC, they used to come round your cell in the block, because it was violent, kicking off, fighting all the time. You get put in the block. And back in the day, when I was in prison, they used to come round at 7 o'clock every morning, take everything out your cell. You never had much anyway, because you were a kid. You weren't getting visits. Your family weren't coming to see you. You were too far away. So I went from a court in Liverpool with 15 months detained, shoved up my arse, and sent to a place about 150 miles away, kids prison. When I'm in there, I start scrapping. I'm just turning 15, but it had people in there who were 16 and 17 and 18. And it was just a bullying gaff. Everyone picking on each other.
Bluetooth mode.
So eventually you're fighting. So I get put down a block. And when you're in the block, because you're young and you don't like being locked in a little 6x6 room by yourself, you start smashing the door with your feet. So what they used to do to stop you kicking your door is come in, hold you down, strip your clothes off, take your socks and take your shoes. With you being a kid, you're still kicking the door, but within an hour, your feet are killing you, so you stop kicking the door. Then you get placed in front of a governor because you're being destructive and affecting the good order and discipline of the segregation unit. They punish you for it. And they give you cellular confinement, CC. And what that meant was to come round to your cell 7 o'clock every single morning. Because you're a kid, you're just diving in bed when you're not on CC. You just get in your bed, throw your quilt over you and lie there all day like a nugget. And then you're up all night talking to whoever's facing you through your door because you're just losing the plot. So they'd come in, take your mattress, take your blankets, they'd take everything off you and leave you with a metal frame for the bed, which was bolted to the floor, and a cardboard table and chair, cardboard, and a Bible. That's all you had in your cell. A metal bed, cardboard table and chair, so you couldn't smash anything with it, and a Bible. That's all they give you, that. And they'd let you out for an hour a day. And that hour was half an hour on an exercise yard at the size of a backyard, and a shower, if you were lucky. So that's my first experience of the YP system. So I'm in that Warrington house for about 8 months. And it's messy. And every time they took me out the block, I'd get into a fight, so I'd be back into the block. And that was me in Warrington house. In the dorm, fight, block. Back up into the dining room, block. So when you wasn't in the block, the regime was this. You had dorms with 20 lads to a dorm. Same routine every morning, 7 o'clock. The screws would come in, they'd pull the truncheons out, and they'd smash the end of the beds to make like a bell noise. Ching, 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 get up, make your bed back. So you had to get up. You'd have to get up, You'd have to fold your sheet up into a little square. You'd have to fold your blanket up into a little square. Everything on your bed needed to be put into a bed pack. Along top of your bed pack, and they'd inspect your bed pack while you're in your boxies. And if your bed pack weren't right, they'd mess it up on you, tell you to do it again. Then you'd have to wait till they give you the get-go. And at the bottom of your dorm, in between two dorms, you'd have like a recess. And in that recess, you'd have 3 big sinks, massive sinks, and then you'd have wash sinks, wash basins, about 7 of them. And if you ever needed a toilet, or if you ever needed, they give you a piss pot. So at the bottom of your bed, you'd have this plastic tub with a handle on it and a lid on it. And if you needed a piss, you'd have to piss in that pot, and you'd have to that pot. There were no toilets, no flushes, nothing like that. And that's what they do. Right, slop out. Everyone in the dorm would go down with the piss pots and start throwing in the piss into these big sinks. And then you'd have a wash in the sinks there, and you were having a straightener just to get a sink. You'd get yourself washed as much as you could. You got a shower once a week. You'd get yourself washed as much as you could. You'd get back in. You'd get your jeans, your shirt and your flickers on. Brown prison shoes. Used to be called shift flickers. Obviously. Always getting them. You'd had a pair of jeans and a blue and white striped shirt. You had to tuck it in. If you didn't, you got a little slap or a warning. Then, at 7 o'clock, 7:05, you'd go downstairs with all the other dorms. So, say like at 10 to 7, dorm A would go. 5 to 7, dorm B would follow. 7, dorm C. 7:05. So, it'd be like a routine, all going down, controlled order. You're on it? And where they'd put you is a big hall with tiled floors. All the windows wouldn't shut properly. It was all single glazed. It was freezing every single morning. The screws would have jackets on and woolly hats. And we just have them shirts freezing our balls off. And what they'd do, they'd take you down to this dining hall at 7 o'clock in the morning and leave you in that dining hall till 8 p.m. at night. And everything happened from the dining hall. So there'll be 120 lads in this dining hall at 7 o'clock in the morning. You'd all queue up and you'd go to a servery and you'd get a little shitty metal tray and you'd get a scoop of Rice Krispies or 1 Weetabix. You'd get a scoop of milk. This is how it used to be, like madness. You'd get a scoop of milk and that was it. You'd get a piece of toast that was like in steel. You'd eat your breakfast. For those that were lucky to have employment in there, at about 8 o'clock, a door would open in the dining room. The screw would stand there and shout something like 20 names out, 25 names out of everyone. And they'd off to do farming, work on reception, clean the bins, clean the yard, all my... The rest of us would be locked in this room. And what they'd do, they'd give us jobs to do around the prison within that vicinity. So, one day I could be on my knees with a bucket of water, a scrub and brush about this big, and they'd have 5 of us push all the tables to the far end of the dining room and scrub the floor. This is how it was in there. It was messy, Anyway, I just couldn't handle it. I'd end up fighting all the time because some dickhead walked on the floor, or it was a little gang thing, Manx and Scousers or whatever. I'd end up fighting. So I was in the block all the time. I got into this mad fight with this group of lads. Went down the block. The screw gave me a warning. one more thing and I'm going to ship you to Stokeheath. And I didn't know what Stokeheath was, but it was one of the worst YOY offenders you could go to. Mad. But whilst we're in this Wellington House, there's sex offenders amongst us and all that. And there was one in there called Prodipus, right? That was a surname, Prodipus, and he was from Bolton. And he got exposed. You know, he got exposed and rushed away and shipped to somewhere mad so no one can get on. Anyway, I've had this fight and I've been sent to Stokeheath. I'm about 8 months into me 15 months detained. Now in Stokeheath, you had one wing for 18 and under. And then you had 4 wings for 18 to 21s. I've turned 15 now. You're on it, I'm 8 months into my sentence. So I've been shipped out one morning, they've come, manhandled me, banged me in a sweatbox, took me to Market Drayton. Still haven't had a visit, still haven't had contact with my family. Gone. End up in this Stokeheath in Market Drayton. I'm in reception and straight away, it's 10 times worse than Wellington House. Strict. They had a line, they had a yellow line for the YPs and a blue line for the over 18s. And if you stepped off that line, next level murder, mate. It was crazy. So anyway, I end up on this wing, and this wing has got something like 240 YPs on it, on 2 landings. So downstairs, you had like an association room, the servery where you used to get your scran. And then above that, you had 2 landings. And you had cells either side of the landing. And they were all double. They were all double cells, so 2 people to each cell. So I'm launched in here. I've been having scraps with these kids from Manchester, from Longsight in Moss Side. They were just bullying Scousers, and I was the Scouser to represent. Anyway, I got into a few scraps with them. And now I've been shipped out and I've landed in this gaff. As soon as I've landed in there was cleaners who were 17 and 18 from Moss Side. And they were friends with the people I've been fighting with in Wellington House. So straight away, as soon as I've landed on the wing, they're on me. So I'm in a bit of a situation already before I've even managed to put my bags down. They're snarling at me and that. You know what YPs are like. But they just seen that it was game. You know, when they tried to bully me, that's what they do, come up to you in 3s and 4s and try and like intimidate you. Once they know that you're not having none of it, they sort of back down a little bit. So I get brought upstairs, get put in this cell. It's a double cell. I've got some little rat of a pad mate running around the wing, bumming and burn, all this mad shit. It's a no smokers unit because you're under 18. But the cleaners used to go for the trolley. They used to get burn off the adults, tobacco, bring it back over. And all the little rats would run around trying to buy it. So I ended up in this pad. I'm just not conforming to the rules and regulations like I've never have done since I landed in prison. Just never conducted myself the way they wanted me to. I'm out on the landing one day thinking of getting myself a cleaner's job. Been there for a month, been there for 6 weeks. And what the screws used to do in there every so often, the lads who they liked, who was just like doing what they wanted to do, they'd open them up. So every other day is something that'd come and get me. Do you want to brush the landing, G? Do you want to mop the landing? I'd be like, yeah, go ahead. Out my cell, running around, talking to other people through the doors and all that nonsense. And this one day, I recognised this voice. It was Prodipus. I'm on the landing, doing what I'm doing, brushing up. I see a screw come onto our landing, and he's got Prodipus with him. And I know he's just raped this kid. That's what he was in for. He's got this horrible smirk on his face, you know, like he can't be touched because he's got a screw with him. Miami where I am. He's coming along in London. As soon as the screw gets past me, he's smirking at me. Just give him with a belter. You heard his jaw snap. The screw turned round. Gee, what have you done? It weren't what normally happens like in Warrington House. Big bell goes off, 40 screws are twisting you up and carting you down a block. What have you done, Jay? You've got to place you on report now, lad. Sound, get in your cell. I'm locked in my cell. Because I went to Stoke Heath in the back of a van with 6 or 7 screws, handcuffed, because I was just a wild kid. I got warned on reception by like the governors and the head of residential and all this. So when I've done this to this Prodipus, they've stabbed me up. They've stabbed me up. It was illegal, but they done it. And what they done was, although I was only 15, they said, right, you're going in the over 18s prison. And what they've done is they put me on A wing, the roughest wing in jail. So they come to my cell, open my cell, pack you, you're moving. Where am I going? You're going over there. You can't put me on there, I'm too young. We don't fuck by, you're going. So I'm over there, land on this A-wing. Now these units were like a letter T. So you had like a letter T. You had 3 floors, 4 floors. The bottom room was associations. Then you had landing 1, landing 2, landing 3, and then you had spares. So that was full of cells, and there was 3 floors. So you had 9 windows. Top floor, middle floor. Do you understand what I'm saying? They put me on the middle floor in the middle cell. And it's canteen night that night, right? And I've gone in there, I've gone in my cell, got me little beatbox that I bought off the Argos. Had me little shower gels, had all me little stuff, you know what you think you're boss with. Put me tunes on. When I've gone into the cell, it just stunk of piss. They've had these new bogs installed, like steel bogs, steel sink and a steel bog in the corner, and they just stink. It had all toothpaste all over the walls, you know, where people have been putting rude photos or pictures out of magazines up and that. So I'm in there scrubbing away, getting my pad cleaned as you do. Next minute I heard a bang on the ceiling. So I lower my Biggie music, got Biggie on. I lower my music and open the window. What's up, lad? Scouse. It was a mank. Right. Scouse. What, lad? What are you up to? Call. You getting your canteen tonight, aren't you? Yeah, why? I want half. That's the way the conversation went. I want half your canteen, lad. Off, mate, you're not getting nothing. When I said that, listen, you scouse prick, I want half. The way a man talks. And because I've been having trouble with the Manx in the last prison, you know, in Warrington House, I just went, shut up, you man. Who do you think you're talking to? Every cell around me. Don't forget, I'm in the middle. That cell there started banging the door. That cell there started banging the wall. The one underneath me was hitting the ceiling wherever he had. And then upstairs, Duffy, his name turned out to be. I got him years later. So I'm thinking nothing of it. Watch when you come out, lads, you're getting rushed. The first time I'd heard this word, rushed, okay? And I got rushed, mate, listen. I've set my cell up. They come and unlock you about 4:30 on a canteen night, and what you'll do, you'll go and get your food, and you'll come out your cell, you'll go down the stairs to the dining room, you'd get your food, and then you'd go back to your cell, and then your canteen, you'd get your canteen, it'll come to your door or something like that. I never got it in the end. So anyway, I'm going down for my tea. And as I'm going down the stairs, I get down to like the first landing. And in the corner of the stairwell, you've got a screw smirking at me, eating a refresher bar. And I'm thinking, what the screw smirking at me for here? It's the same screw that's brought me over from the YP wing. He's smirking at me in his refresher bar, and I thought, that's a bit weird. I've gone down the next flight of stairs and there's like 6 heads waiting for me. And you know what they attack me with? They flickers. These brown shoes that prisons make and give them to you. And you see the heels on them. They just come at me with them pink on the back of my head and all this. I've carried on down the stairs, thrown a few. I'm not lying. I've hit 1 or 2 of them, dropped one, and then just got chased to the point where I'm running back up to my cell and slamming the door. I've ran back up to... So when you come out to go and get your tea, it's in your own interest, right, to lock your cell door. Otherwise, you're going to get everything took, all right? So I've had everything in my cell. I've got it all spruced up. I've got my CDs, my CD player. I've got all my little things I've collected over that 8-month period. You're on it? It's all in my cell. It's all on display. My shower jet. Oh, everything's on display, all boxed and that. Because when I was on the YP wing, I was, you know, doing what I wanted. And I had a nice shower gel collection. I had all this mad stuff. And it's all set out, boss, in my cell. So when they open the door for me to go and get me scran, I've closed my cell door, locked it after me. I've gone downstairs, that kicked in. I've had a little chase mode round the landing. The screw's still there, smirking at me. I've ran back past him, got on my landing, got to my cell, slammed my door. Like that. Buzzing, I was safe. Turned round, and everything was gone. My whole cell had been rinsed. The dirty little screw had opened it up. Must have been banging Prodipus or something. So anyway, I'm now in this cell with Paul. I'm now arguing with the wing. It was like a Manx wing. I'm at my window. Out of nowhere, I hear this snarking half Scouse accent. Scouser. I said, who are you? He said, I'm a Scouser, lad. Where are you from? Wrong corner. Just went, He was trying to tell me to chill out. Just give them your canteen when you get it. And I was saying, cough, you little rat. Robbo, his name was. Don't forget, this is my first sentence in prison, this, lad. It was terrifying. So anyway, I've caused murder, me. I'm banging out of my cell door. I'm causing absolute murder. It is what it is. I end up in the block. Get twisted up, get tucked to the block by the same screws. I'm in the block now. Now, this whole process has carried on for like 3 or 4 months. I'm now in the block. I get my exercise. I'm walking around the exercise yard. And guess who's in the block? Stood at his window with a scaffolding around his jaw. Honest to God. It was Prodipus. I was under investigation for a wounding on him. He had this big thing round his jaw all sapped in here and there. Big metal cage. Anyway, eventually I never got charged for it, but the governor told me he's staying down the segregation unit till discharge. Got out from the block in Stoke Heath after 15 months. And then I was back in jail 4 months later. And then out, then in, then out, then in, then out, then in, then out, then in, then out, and then in. All my life. Right through it, lad. That's a true story, lad. That was my first time in prison, mate. And it doesn't help you. Know what I'm saying?